Okay, welcome. Um, I want to talk about the bands. Amazing bands, honestly. Great, amazing, great. Art of War should have gone a long time ago. Glad it's banned now. It's just, the card is just too strong. Same for Bonds, really. It shouldn't really have been printed, but I mean, can be. It could have been like a Majestic for Katsu, but Sen just abused it so hard. And then basically all the cards in the game right now that give you any form of card advantage are banned. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this direction they're going in. Also, the article is great. Please give it a read if you haven't already. James White thoroughly explains why these cards are banned and not other cards. But as the person clicking on this video may have noticed, Tome of Aether Wind and Tome of Final have been banned, and those are staple cards of Kano, so I will be going over what I think Kano is going to be doing with those cards being banned. First of all, Cry. I mean, like, let's be real, the tomes were pretty important to what we were currently doing. So, you know, it's whatever. Just cry only a little bit. We're only going to be crying. Cry a little bit. We're only going to be crying a little bit. It's not that bad. Okay. Next, I think into our non-stack matchups. The same thing, basically. I don't think the tomes really mattered that much. Okay, let me say it's not the same thing because the tomes, they facilitated like the broken first turn kill combos, and now we're just gonna be like more mid range, slower, more setup, that kind of stuff. Like we're going to be playing cards like SWAT Tidings, Sonic Boom is going to be back in the deck definitely, and a card like Quickening. It's really great now. Cindering is out, so I mean, Cindering, I don't think it makes the deck anymore because it was good because you could do the crazy shit, and now we can't do the crazy shit anymore. So I think Cindering is out of the deck. Um, let's see here, other stuff. I think I was on 3D pot. I think we're going to be on 2D pot now. If not 1, I'm not 100% sure yet. But with Overflow releasing in Rosetta, I think definitely 2D pot is the way to go. It still works very well with Kindle and Rags and Gaze and Sonic Boom. Just not the tomes anymore, which is kind of sad, but you know, it is what it is. Also, I had one other thing. Oh yeah, I think the 2-cost blues go up in value. Because the 0-cost blues were really good with Kindle because we wanted to do broken OP shit and do like Wildfire double spell blazing or sometimes even Wildfire triple spell blazing, and we're not going to be able to do that anymore if we don't have the tomes. So the 2-cost blues are stonks, basically. 2-cost blues are a lot better now, and I think we do want to be running them. So this is the easy part. Now we get into the stack matchups. Cry a lot. That's basically what I've came up with. We cannot stack anymore. I was talking with some of the players in Sonic Doom, and if we want, we can still stack. Like we can still stack. I don't foresee it being super consistent. I do have some ideas, though. I do have some ideas. I'm not super sold on any of them yet, but I do want to check them all out. I'm not gonna be testing a whole lot until this weekend when the cards from Tampa Bay are released. Because frankly, I don't think it matters a whole lot right now. Like we might as well get some like Kindle level card in Rosetta or two, and we are just back at the same power level again, and it just didn't really matter a lot. So I do want to wait a little bit, at least for this weekend. So I think this is pretty set in stone. I don't think. I mean, we'd have to get some crazy stuff in Rosetta for this to change, and considering these bans, I don't think we're really getting any crazy stuff. But we are probably getting some good cards like Spindle level or Sonic Boom level cards that we can put in the deck, which would improve it a lot. So Cry a lot. Second, big arcane. So setup, which we used to do with stuff like Stir or Blessing of Aether, or now Exploding Aether, gets a lot better because we can stack. So big, that would be big arcane mid range. And I think there's actually potential for a Waning Moon build. That plays a kind of like Blaze in Blitz, but in CC, and hopefully better because we don't have to play bad cards like Whisper. But I have to test that, and I'm not 100% sure it'll work, but we can maybe even play I'm blanking. Absorb in red. Absorb red, I think. Not a full absorb build. I don't think that's gonna be like the play. But we can probably play absorb red and something like Emeritus, other card. Yeah, I mean basically because these cards already make this strategy a lot better, right? And if we play something like 31 blues instead of the current 34 blues, we are going to be able to hit a good card like 50% of the time, a little bit more because of some of the blues are actually not bad to hit, like potions and gaze. So I think that it could be good, especially also because of the 2-cost blues, right? And then another thing I wanted to talk about here is Rainbow Overflow. I think the Rainbow Overflow builds do go up a bit in stock, because those are like we basically just didn't have the slots for Rainbow Overflow, and now 6 of our cards are just gone, right? So we can probably play Rainbow Overflow, but I have to like this doesn't really mesh well with this, and I think this is just a better idea than this, right? Also because because we can't stack anymore, Enigma gets a lot harder, and I think this and this could definitely help with that matchup also. And I also think that because Zen now isn't in the format, like the best aggro decks are Levia and KO, and those are a lot worse at racing than Zen is, which means we can play more of a mid-rangey, slower setup into those decks, and I think that is actually pretty good. So the tomes is like a big loss, don't get me wrong, but it's not as bad as like when you're up here, you know. So this is kind of like a roadmap of how it goes when you realize that tomes have been banned. Like you cry a little bit, and then you're like, oh well, can play a little bit more fair Flesh and Blood, and then you go to stack matches, and then you're like, wow, this fucking sucks, because it does. It fucking sucks. I don't think like if someone is really hell bent on beating Kano, they probably can now. Like just run AB5, run Oasis, Arena's Prayer, and Steadfast, and you're good probably. I don't think. Oh, another thing we can do is potentially. I'll put that down here. Potentially Edict / Chains. These cards are really bad. I mean, I've played them a lot because I wasn't confident in my stacking. When I first started, I only used them as a crutch, which I do not recommend because it teaches you bad habits. But they're really bad cards. I don't think we want to run them. I think this ends up being more consistent, like either this or this. I don't know. I mean, we could potentially combine these, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. I think if we do end up doing this, it's because we really want to stick to stacking, and this is the way to make it the most consistent. I mean, yeah, this is kind of a shorter video. Most of my other videos have been like 45 minutes long, but yeah, this is really my thoughts right now. I think these bans are amazing for the game. I am curious to see what happens with Enigma right now, because it kind of feels like she's just like the reality refractor build that Tyler Horspool played at the Battle Harden a few weeks ago, or a week ago or something. Um, Feels like it just kind of doesn't lose to anything except for Zen, and Zen, I mean, Zen is like B tier right now without these two cards, or some heavy deck innovation that I can't do because I'm not a Zen player. He's not very good right now. Also, I would just like to pay my respects to the 2-5 players in the world right now. Yeah, I'm really sorry. It fucking sucks, man. I hope you have it in your heart to forgive LSS for what they did to your hero, but this is... If you want to burn down like an LSS headquarters, I'm not saying you should, but I get it, you know? Also, Katsu fans. Also, fucking come on. I mean, it really sucks that this is such an important card for Katsu, and this is just such an important card for aggro decks in general, but these two cards are just really too strong for the game. Like, Bonds of Ancestry is literally a snatch with Go again and doesn't have to hit, and Art of War is just fucking crazy. But yeah, I think that's basically it. This is what I think the deck will be looking like. I think I'll maybe... I don't know if anyone wants to see this, but I might do like a deck building stream or something when the Rosetta cards have been released. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Anyways, yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happening in the Kano world. I think it's fun. I think this is definitely better. I've been calling for a ban since Kindle release, and these definitely are the broken cards in the Kano deck right now. So, I mean, good on them for banning these. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay, goodbye.